So it's December 2011, and I'm in this all-white room in Midtown Manhattan, and I'm wearing a see-through red dress, and there's this photographer over here who's like yelling at me, and his name is Roberto, and he's Italian, and there's a guy with a hairdryer like pointed at my face, like Charlie's Angels style, and everyone's like, be happy, be happy. And I hear the woman running the magazine turn to the person beside her and just say, you know what? Her nails aren't perfect. Somehow this is the epitome of everything that my life in New York has become, and it's not at all what I wanted. Skip forward to January of 2014, and I'm throwing all of the boxes that I have, which is about 13 because I live in Brooklyn and I have like 800 square feet to my name. And I'm like getting out of there because I'm about to go to Charlotte, North Carolina so that I can get to Spartanburg, South Carolina, because that's where I'm going to be for the next 6 months at an artist residency, right? Now, how I got from this room of misery in Manhattan, which some people call modeling, to coming to South Carolina as an artist, we have to go all the way back to 2004, when I was a senior in high school, like some of you guys are. When I was a senior in high school, I was like a super overachiever. I feel like we probably have a few of those in this room, probably all of you, right? I wanted to do everything right. I wanted to be the best at everything, and I was gonna do it. So when I decided to go to college, I applied to 10 schools. I got into a few of them, and I applied on a whim to a performing arts school, which was New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, which is a great program. And I got accepted. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a famous actress, because no matter what you say at 18, that is what you're thinking when you get accepted to drama school. I'm gonna be famous, right? And then I get a phone call from Harvard where I'd been waitlisted. And they're like, great, you're accepted. You have 24 hours to decide if you're going. So I sat down with my parents who were like, obviously you're gonna go to Harvard. And I was like, yeah, but doing what I would do if I was gonna go to Harvard, that's not what I actually want in my life. Because what I actually want in my life is to change the world. That was what was important to me when I was 18. And I just knew that for me, art was the thing that was gonna change the world, not politics, not law. So that, and obviously, you know, at 18, you're thinking like, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna make a choice, I'm gonna change the world. I don't know if you guys have heard of a TV show called The West Wing, but when I was in high school, I was a huge fan of it. And in the moment when I was making that college decision, I realized that The West Wing as a television show, as a story that we were telling in culture, was having a huge impact on the choices that people were making in their lives. And in my mind, I said, I want to do that. I want to tell stories. I want to be a storyteller. Now, once I got to college, what I found was a hugely different reality than what I had imagined. I found a lot of people who told me that I was too smart to be an actress. I had a lot of people tell me that if I pursued this career, everyone was always going to be prettier than I was when I walked into a room. And I had a teacher in drama school that went around the room and told every woman in the room what they needed to do in order to be more successful. Change their hair color, get plastic surgery. That was the experience that I had at art school. Now, I don't need to tell you guys that women are underrepresented in culture. I'm sure you hear about it on Facebook, you see it on Twitter. But I think it becomes a reality that a lot of us don't face. What I was facing was a cultural institution that I like to call the fame machine, which asks young women and young people of color particularly to sacrifice their voices, their stories, and who they are in the pursuit of notoriety and fame. And what I came to believe after many years of pursuing that goal, of going on auditions for Gossip Girl, of going on auditions for HBO, of pursuing that dream of being a famous actress, what I found was that I had completely lost sight of what was actually important to me in the world. And what I found, after doing some soul searching after that horrible day in 2011, was that what was important to me in the world was to make sure that every woman and girl across this planet has a voice, has a choice, and has a say in how their life goes. But I'm a storyteller, that's what I do. So I thought, well, how can I make this a reality from what I do? And I became a writer. I started to write plays. I started to research the stories of women. And when the chance came to move away from New York City, I thought, you know, New York has a lot of storytellers already. There's no reason for me to be living in this big city where there are people just climbing on top of each other. I want to go somewhere where there are people that need stories in their lives. Now, what I would encourage you guys to do is not to give up on your dreams, not to go and not train in big cities, but I want you guys to think about the communities that exist in front of you and around you that need to be represented. I don't know if you guys know about the Gina Davis Institute, but it studies the representation of women in media. And in a 2014 study of feature films across 11 countries, they found that only 31% of speaking roles are occupied by women, and only 23% of films have a female protagonist. Those numbers only get smaller when you look at the people that are actually creating, producing, writing, directing this material. And I say this to you guys because I believe that you are the generation that is going to change the way culture is made. You have access to cameras. You have access to films. You don't need to go pursue some kind of career at Sony in order to make culture. You can do it right now. And what you do and the choices you make will have a profound impact on the stories that we tell about our culture. Because representation does matter. It mattered to me when people told me that I wasn't where I was supposed to be, that I needed to be silent, that I needed to play a secretary instead of being what I thought I could be. So I would ask each of you, do not stop telling your stories, and to reach out to people that you know that haven't had a chance to tell their stories, because now I've been doing this for a few years, and I know that there is no one in this room and there is no one in this world that doesn't have an interesting story to tell, that is worthy of our time and worthy of our interest. So please get out there and start telling those stories no matter what you do. Thank you.